Hi everyone. Now, in continuation to our last discussion about the proteins, where we discussed the fibrous proteins, in today's class we will be discussing about the globular proteins. And the first and the major globular protein which we are going to discuss today is the myoglobin. Apart from myoglobin, we are also going to study a few other proteins which are smaller proteins. But we will see how these globular proteins they fold themselves and they play a role in our body. So, if we talk about the myoglobin, it is the first globular protein whose structure was determined using X-ray diffraction, and it was determined by John Country. Okay, so this is important because it actually laid the foundation of the structural analysis of proteins, and myoglobin being the first protein, the first globular protein whose structure was determined, that opened the way to study other different proteins. So it is located primarily in the striated muscles of the vertebrates. All right, and you know that these striated muscles they take part in all the movement activities here. So this is relatively small protein and the molecular weight is somewhere around 16,700, and it is the major oxygen supplier to myocytes. So basically it holds the oxygen. It contains a heme prosthetic group which can reversibly bind to the oxygen. Okay, and it is also an oxygen storage proteins in muscles. So basically it stores the oxygen, and whenever muscles need the oxygen it releases the oxygen because it can reversibly bind to the oxygen. Now it can provide oxygen depending on the oxygen concentration in the cell. If it has lower concentration, it's pretty natural that oxygen will be released, but if the oxygen is high, it will store it. This particular protein, myoglobin, is abundant in the muscles of the diving mammals. For example, you can see here two pictures. One is of whales, another is of seals, and then there is one example which is the porpoise. So, why these muscles are important and why this particular myoglobin is important? Because it permits them to remain submerged for long periods. And because of the presence of this myoglobin, the muscles of these organisms they are brown in color. Okay, so it is very very important for marine creatures. Now, if you see the backbone of myoglobin, it is made up of 8 relatively straight segments of the alpha helix, and these straight alpha helix they are interrupted by some bands, and some of them are beta turns. So you can see here this is the three-dimensional structure which is the representative structure of the myoglobin, and A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, these are the 8 helices. The longest helix is around 23 amino acid residues long, and the shortest is 7, and all of them are right-handed. So you can see here these how helices they are arranged here, and all are right-handed helices. Now the myoglobin molecule is so compact that its interior has a room only for 4 molecules of water. And that's why this is a globular protein, and all the globular proteins they are highly compactly folded. And this is also folded in such a manner that the space inside the center is very very small, where only 4 molecules of water can be accommodated. Now, if we see the distribution of the secondary structure in this particular protein, then 70% are present in the residues are present in the alpha helical regions, while 30% residues are present in the loops or turns and some other places like the terminal portions here. Okay. Now, myoglobin and hemoglobin they both are the members of the globin superfamily, but they have the stark differences. So it is very interesting when we compare them together, so that you will have a better idea how these proteins behave differently. Now both are the globin proteins, we know that. Now if you look at the myoglobin, it is a single polypeptide chain, while hemoglobin has 4 polypeptide chains. It has one oxygen binding site while it has 4 oxygen binding sites. So it is monomeric in nature, while this is tetrameric nature, and it has a alpha 2 beta 2 chains here. So there is one heme group, it has 4 heme group, and myoglobin can bind one oxygen molecule because it has just one oxygen binding site. While in case of hemoglobin, it can bind to 4 oxygen molecules because it has 4 oxygen binding sites. Okay. Now, if we compare the oxygen binding kinetics, so you will see here that in case of myoglobin, the binding is non-cooperative, while in case of hemoglobin, the binding is cooperative, and that's a very big difference between them. Now, why it happens? Because in case of myoglobin, it binds oxygen non-cooperatively because it binds just one molecule, and because of the one molecule binding and it has just one site, this is a non-cooperative binding. While in case of the hemoglobin, because it can bind to 4 molecules and one binding, it actually increases the affinity for the other sites to bind oxygen rapidly, and that's why it has cooperative binding. So binding of oxygen to one heme, it increases the affinity at the remaining sites, and the result is that here in case of the myoglobin, you will see the saturation curve is hyperbolic, while here in this case it is sigmoid. So this sigmoid curve is because of the cooperative binding, while hyperbolic is because of this non-cooperative binding. Alright, so myoglobin has higher affinity for oxygen and lower P50, and hemoglobin has cooperative binding, it has a high P50. So myoglobin is very efficient as extracting oxygen from the blood, and that's its main job. Now, if we see the physiological location, so myoglobin is mainly present in striated muscles, while hemoglobin is found in the bloodstream, you know that, and it is present in lower concentrations in smooth muscles, endothelial cells, and some tumor cells as well. And the function is here oxygen storage and facilitation of oxygen diffusion within the muscle cells, while here it is just the transport of the oxygen from lungs to tissues and carbon dioxide from tissues to lungs. So this is the comparative analysis between these two proteins, which are the part of the globin superfamily. Now this is just a comparative table showing the features and how they are distributed among these two. So the structure is monomeric. In case of myoglobin, it is tetrameric. The heme groups are just one. Here it is 4. Binding site is 1, 4. Binding type is non-cooperative. It is cooperative. Oxygen saturation curve is hyperbolic. It is sigmoid. Affinity for oxygen is higher. Here it is lower. Main location is striated muscles. Here it is in erythrocytes, and the primary function is oxygen storage and diffusion, while here it is oxygen transport in blood. And this is very good comparison because sometimes such kind of questions are asked in the examinations and you have the ready reckoner with you. Alright, now we will look some other globular proteins, and they are the small proteins, and you will have some idea how these proteins act. So first is the cytochrome C. Now can you just tell me where it is found? Yes, it is found in the respiratory chain of mitochondria. Alright, and it is again a heme protein, and it's a single polypeptide chain and around 100 residues. Molecular weight is small, somewhere around 12,400, and it has a single heme group. Okay, so its protoporphyrin of the heme group is covalently attached to the polypeptide here. So around 40% of the polypeptides are in helical segments, and rest contain turns and irregularly coiled and extended segments, right? Now second enzyme is the lysozyme, and this lysozyme is a bactericidal agent. So basically bactericidal agents are the agents which catalyzes the hydrolytic cleavage of the bacterial cell wall polysaccharides, because there are few bacteria they have the polysaccharides which can be cleaved by these kind of agents, and it has around 129 residues. Around 40% is in helical segment and some form the active site. So it has also 4 disulfide bonds which make it a stable, and it provides them the stability. And lysozyme, you can have it in egg white or in human tears and some other locations also. Okay, now the third globular protein is ribonuclease, and this ribonuclease is secreted by pancreas into the intestine, and it catalyzes the hydrolysis of ribonucleic acids or RNA, and again it has 4 disulfide bonds, and 26% of residues are in helical segments, and many segments are in the beta conformation. So if you can see here, we discussed today the 4 globular proteins: myoglobin, cytochrome C, lysozyme and ribonuclease, and each having distinct functions and the distinct structures. Alright, so we will just pause our discussion for today's class and we will meet you in the next. Till then, you take care. Bye bye.